Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. We're diving into something today.
Yeah.
I think that's really unique. We're going to be talking about a company called Online Land Sales, OLS. And, they're in the business of land ownership and making that accessible through financing. What really caught our attention is their rewards program. And it's not your typical points or discounts kind
Hmm.
of system. It's really
Mm.
a unique approach
Yeah.
to fostering customer loyalty and L. We're going to explore how exactly they do that today.
Yeah, I think, it's something that we're seeing more and more of across different industries. Companies are moving away from just the, basic transactional relationships with their customers. It's not enough anymore, and they're realizing that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like building more of a partnership.
Yeah.
So we're going to unpack exactly how OLS incentivizes everything
Hmm.
from, early payments to referrals. They even offer some financial safety nets along the way. It's really an
Yeah.
interesting approach.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear more about it.
Okay, so let's start with their early first payment discount.
Hmm.
This one's really cool. They actually match your first payment if you make it early, and they immediately deduct that amount from your loan principal.
Wow, that's a really good deal. I mean, so it's instant gratification, right, for the buyer, and it also creates
Yeah.
a sense of partnership right from the start.
Yeah, it's like we're
Yeah.
in this together. We want
Yeah.
to help you succeed.
Exactly. And then also, from the business side, you're encouraging responsible financial behavior from day one. So it's really a win-win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't enough, they also give you a $121 store credit.
Oh, wow. So it's like a little celebratory bonus?
I like that, a celebratory bonus. Okay, so they're off to a good start with encouraging early payments. But it doesn't stop there. They have this program called First Year Customer Bonus Dividends.
Hmm.
And basically hitting certain payment milestones throughout that first year will earn you credits toward your loan.
I like that. They're really tapping into the psychology there. That positive reinforcement at those key stages can be crucial, especially in that first year when people are, maybe adjusting to the realities of land ownership.
Yeah, it's like little nudges along the way to keep you on track.
Exactly. And it reinforces that. OLS is invested in their success.
Okay, so just to break it down for our listeners, if you're current on your payments by the 1 month mark, you get a $10 credit applied over your next two payments. At 3 months, it jumps to a $30 credit over 3 months. And if you make it a full year, you get a $60 credit spread out over months 13 through 15.
Oh, wow. So it's not a huge amount, but it's a nice acknowledgement for, consistent on-time payments.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. All right, so now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about their credit corner. It's basically a whole suite of features designed to empower customers beyond just that initial land purchase.
I think this is where they really start to differentiate themselves. They're not just thinking about the transaction. It's really about the entire customer journey.
Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. First, they have financing options for building cabins on your land. Through partner dealers,
Oh, wow. That's a huge hurdle for a lot of people.
Right.
They've got the land, but then the cost of building can be daunting.
right, and then once
Right.
you've built your cabin, you can actually refinance your loan through OLS. And this allows you to extend the terms of your contract by up to 3 more years, and it reduces your monthly payments by 7%.
That's a really great way to manage cash flow, especially after a big construction project like that, of course. It's always important to remember that extending the loan term does increase the total interest paid over the life of the loan.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a really good point. And this is where I think having a financial advisor
Yeah.
can be so valuable,
Mhm.
to help you weigh those pros and cons,
Absolutely.
make the best decision for your individual situation.
Informed decisions are key.
Yeah, for sure.
But going back to OLS, I really like that they have this credit for emergencies program. I think it really speaks to their commitment to customer success.
Yeah, it's amazing. So basically, if you hit a rough patch and you're past due on your payment by less than 7 days, and you've had your account for at least 6 months, you can borrow up to $600 to get back on track.
So it's like a safety net to help people stay on track and avoid defaulting on their loans.
Right. So they're helping you get started. They're helping you stay on track. They're helping you build on your land, and they've got your back in case of emergencies.
It's a very comprehensive approach. I think it's really refreshing to see a company going to these lengths to support their customers.
I agree. It's really unique. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground already, but there's still more to this reward system. Next up, we're going to explore their referral program and how they're encouraging their customers to become advocates.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that ties into their overall strategy of building a community around land ownership. Stay tuned, folks. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
That's right.
Okay, so let's dive into this referral program. I'm always interested to see how companies are kind of leveraging that power of word of mouth marketing.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. And OLS has a pretty good setup here. If you refer a friend who buys land through your link, you get a $100 Amazon gift card.
Oh, wow, that's a pretty good incentive right there. Who doesn't love a little extra something for their Amazon cart?
Exactly, and it gets even better. You also get 50% off of your next payment. OLS actually covers the other half.
Wow, that's substantial. So, it creates a really strong incentive for both the referrer and the new buyer. It's a win-win-win, really. The referrer is rewarded, the new buyer gets a great deal, and OLS gets a new customer.
Yeah, and potentially a very loyal customer because they came in through a trusted recommendation.
Exactly. It's smart marketing, building on that sense of community
Yeah.
and, shared enthusiasm for land ownership. Happy customers are your best salespeople, as they say.
For sure. All right, so before we wrap things up, I want to touch on one more perk that really stood out to me, and that's the 24-hour grace period.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I think that really stood out to me as well. It's such a simple thing, but it really speaks volumes about, their commitment to customer understanding and flexibility.
Yeah, right. We all miss deadlines sometimes. Life happens. But with OLS, if you miss your payment deadline, you have a full 24 hours to catch up. And they waive any late fees.
Wow, yeah. It's a breath of fresh air compared to, you know, rigid and unforgiving policies that you see from a lot of those traditional lenders.
Yeah, it's more human. It's like they understand that people are generally trying to do the right thing. They just need a little help sometimes.
Exactly.
I think it builds trust, for sure.
Yeah.
And it definitely takes the stress out of those moments when things don't go exactly according to plan.
I'd love to see more companies adopt that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so to recap, we've seen how OLS is incentivizing those early payments, rewarding progress through those bonus dividends. They're offering help with building, and even emergency funds. They're encouraging referrals and providing a grace period for those occasional late payments.
It's a really remarkably comprehensive system that really sets them apart. They're not just about selling land. It's really about cultivating a relationship with their customers and supporting their success as landowners.
And it makes you wonder, could this model be applied to other industries?
Yeah. That's the question, isn't it? Could this approach to customer loyalty be adapted to, other areas of finance or even beyond? I think it's definitely something worth exploring.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, that about wraps up our deep dive into the fascinating world of online land sales and their unique approach to customer rewards.
It's been a pleasure unpacking all these innovative strategies with you.
I've learned a lot today, and I hope our listeners have as well.
Yeah, I think we've only scratched the surface of what's possible when companies start thinking outside the box like this and really prioritizing customer success.
So the big question we're leaving you with today is this. Could this be the blueprint for, a more customer-centric approach in other industries?
Yeah. It's an interesting question, and I think it's one that a lot of businesses are trying to figure out right now. That old playbook of just acquiring customers and hoping they stick around? It's just not working anymore.
Yeah, it really feels like OLS is.
Yeah.
Building more of a partnership with their customers rather than just that transactional relationship.
Exactly. And I think that's where the real potential is. You create a system where both the company and the customer are invested in each other's success, and you create this really powerful dynamic.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just, those points and discounts, and it's more about shared values.
Yeah.
And that sense of community that we talked about earlier.
Exactly. It's about creating that win-win where everyone benefits, the company thrives, the customers feel valued and supported, and it just creates this positive ripple effect, beyond just that immediate transaction.
It's really inspiring to see a company like OLS, pushing the boundaries like this.
Yeah. It really makes you wonder, what if more companies adopted this kind of thinking? That commitment to customer success. What kind of impact could that have, on the overall business landscape?
It's a really powerful thought, Anne. One I hope our listeners will take away from this deep dive. It's a challenge to think differently, to look beyond, those traditional models and to find new ways.
Yeah.
To build those meaningful connections with your customers.
Yeah, it's not always easy, but the rewards can be huge for the business and the people they serve.
Well, that brings us to the end of our exploration of online land sales and their innovative approach to customer rewards.
It's been a pleasure joining you for this deep dive.
As always, it's great having you here.
I always enjoy, diving into these unconventional business models and seeing how they're really shaking things up.
Me too. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us for another deep dive. We hope you found it insightful, and we'll be back soon with another episode. So be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.